everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent from Goal, joining you from London Colney today. As you can see behind me there, Arsenal getting their training session underway ahead of their game against PSV tomorrow night in the Europa League. Mikel Arteta's press conference coming up very, very soon here. Once this session is finished, we'll be getting all the latest news from him ahead of the game, getting his views on everything that's been going on, some team news if he does say anything. But it's a strong squad out there, just two players missing. Zinchenko still with that calf issue that has been troubling him for a while, and no Gabriel Martinelli as well. But we're told with Martinelli he's feeling a little bit under the weather, so fingers crossed he should be okay for tomorrow. That's why he's sitting this session out. So not too bad a news when it comes to the injury front for Arsenal. As I said in yesterday's video, I think Mikel Arteta will go pretty strong for this one, try and get the result done. As you can see behind me, a lot of the press now. We're getting taken into the press conference room. We just get about 15 minutes to watch the training session here before we get taken back to the press conference room, because obviously Mikel Arteta doesn't want to be giving any secrets in front of the media and the cameras ahead of tomorrow's game. So yeah, UEFA just give us 15 minutes ahead of Europa League games to watch the training. I mean, look at that. Gorgeous setting it is to play football here. Absolutely pristine. Who would want to play football on that? Yeah, it's a strong looking squad from Arsenal. Like I said, press conference coming up with Mikel Arteta now very, very soon. We'll get the very latest from him on all the injury news, team news and anything else he has to say.
Are you floor mic being swept out?
I wanted to do Brighton twice as well because it's halfway.
No worries.
Well, driving halfway.
Because they do expenses.
Yeah, try me on it, because like you said earlier, if it's a case of getting a freelancer or anybody, even Matt O'Connell could do it.
Right, so Mikel Arteta's press conference has finished. Also spoke to Matt Turner as well ahead of the game. Obviously he's going to start. Some good stuff from Matt Turner actually. Some interesting quotes which I will try and use at some point, put together for a piece for Goal maybe next week. Yeah, I thought he spoke really well. But in terms of Mikel Arteta, big news really from that is that Martinelli's going to be assessed tomorrow. He didn't rule Zinchenko out, which is ridiculous because look, he's not going to play. He hasn't trained for a couple of weeks. I did actually ask him for a little bit more on Zinchenko. I asked if it was something to worry about, this ongoing issue, and he said no, it wasn't, and it was just this recurring problem that they've got to try and solve. I then asked, are we going to see him again before the World Cup, before the break for the World Cup? And he said yes, which is good news. I mean, Arsenal's still got some big games, including Chelsea away, coming up before the break for the World Cup, and he certainly wants Zinchenko involved in those games one way or the other. So hopefully it won't be too long before we see him, but we're not going to get to see him tomorrow. There's no way he's going to be involved, no matter what Mikel Arteta says publicly when you ask him about potential team news. Other than that, it was a relatively quiet press conference. Lots of questions about Van Nistelrooy, obviously, and about that rivalry between Arsenal and United back in the day when Van Nistelrooy was a player, the whole Martin Keown thing, the Battle of Old Trafford, all that. But with Arteta, he wasn't involved in Arsenal back then, so you can talk about what it was like watching it as a player during that era, but he wasn't involved in the clubs. Spoke a little bit about Gabriel, a little bit of a, not a warning is probably the wrong word to Gabriel, but certainly that you've got to control those sort of rash moments, and that he knows that it could have ended up costing Arsenal at Ellen Road last weekend. Thankfully it didn't, because VAR got involved, but the decision on the pitch was penalty and red card, and thankfully it was overturned. But if it wasn't, that would have been really costly for Arsenal. So it wasn't really a warning, I would say, to Gabriel, but he was certainly comments of he needs to be mindful, and not just him, everyone needs to be mindful at the moment, because there's so much to play for at Arsenal. You don't want to ruin things by getting yourself sent off and giving away needless penalties like could have happened at the weekend. He spoke a lot about, he spoke about PSV and the threat that they're going to cause. I tried to ask him about Cody Gakpo. Obviously he's going to be coming up against Arsenal, a player who's been linked heavily, not just with Arsenal, but with lots and lots of teams. Nearly went to Southampton, in fact, in the summer, who Arsenal played at the weekend. United were interested. I tried to get him on that, and he said, look, he's a good player, but he doesn't want to talk about anyone that's not one of his own players, as usual. I gave it a go anyway. But other than that, it was a relatively quiet press conference from him. Didn't really want to bite on anything, give much away, which is Arteta's usual approach when it comes to talking to the press. But yeah, I thought the Matt Turner stuff was really good, and I'll try and do something from that at some point next week on exactly what he had to say about the World Cup, how he settled into Arsenal, and things like that. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But from London Colney, that's me done now. Like I said, the big news, certainly team news ahead of tomorrow night's game against PSV, is that Martinelli will be assessed tomorrow. Personally, I don't think he's going to start. I think I'll be surprised. I think Saka's going to start. I'd say right now, given my predicted 11 for the game, it'll probably end up being obviously Matt Turner, Tomiyasu probably right back. I think we might see Holding and Gabriel as the two centre backs, Tierney left back, Sambi, Vieira, Xhaka, Saka, Eddie and Reece Nelson, but we'll wait and see anyway. So from London Colney here, my day has finished. Hope you enjoyed the video.